Why are introverts taking this world by storm? I mean, we've seen a spike in the number of successful introverts who are actually building successful businesses, the likes of Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. The list itself is endless. And this situation had me ponder. We've been led as introverts to force ourselves into situations that only an extrovert would find a thrill in, because only an extrovert would be able to succeed in life, or better yet, only an extrovert would be able to succeed in business. So how do we actually go ahead and succeed in business as an introvert? It basically comes down to understanding your hormones, understanding your dopamine, understanding how your neocortex works and how we make decisions differently. And all that might seem complicated, but as the video goes on, there are things I'll be explaining to you to actually let you understand this entire concept and actually answer this question. So the extrovert idea that is so prevalent in business, and we all recognize it, and we've been fed to believe that to succeed you need to be an outspoken business leader, or you need to focus on being able to throw out quick ideas, or you need to be able to lead a team. Oh, this is a very ironic one. You need to be a very charismatic, ideal businessman who has a way with people and a way with words. So you need to be the go-to guy for people's motivational needs, the perfect extrovert. There's nothing we as introverts can do about this. There are more introverts in Gen Z and millennials than there have been in the history of mankind. That means that basically it is a byproduct of social media and the internet, and there is barely any need to heighten your extrovert capabilities at a young age, so only one victor could remain and take control of your hormones. And voila, we have a population of young people which is mostly made of introverts, to a point where I swear even an extrovert would call themselves an introvert, all to just fit in with the crowd. Now, this is honestly a good thing. Well, a good thing for us, right? If well managed, because introverts are more sensitive to dopamine than extrovert. This is in hindsight, meaning that while extroverts need to actually get more dopamine hits than an introvert would need. So tying that with the sensitivity of dopamine receptors, then introverts' emotions are more stable than an extrovert's emotions. And what this basically means is that, well, it's way more easier for an introvert to have the ability to rationalize, as if an extrovert is hit with some dopamine, whether that be their first sales call or seeing that their ads are actually running profitably, well, then they will be hyped, going crazy, overthinking about what more he can do to actually go ahead and generate more money, or how else he can make more profitable ads, or even be overwhelmed with worry or anxiousness of what if it is a one-time thing. Whereas with introverts, it's more of we do get hyped up, right? We definitely get overwhelmed by anxiousness quite a bit, but we're actually able to analyze, and in my case, overanalyze, and just doing that thinking about both the good side and the bad side, then being able to rationalize everything. It brings a sense of stability to our emotions, just keeping everything calmer, because an emotionally charged decision is always the worst form of decision making, because you never choose the right thing, because you don't have any, you don't back it up. So while you're still level-headed, smash that subscribe button so you can get a bit of a dopamine hit and keep things going. So as an introvert, you're more level-headed and focused on one thing: finding out whether that task is profitable. So basically, does this task make any sense for me to actually go ahead and do? Not to say that extroverts cannot. I mean, their amygdala is the exact same as ours. What really separates us is our neocortex. As with extroverts, their neocortex is not as regulated with them as it is with introverts, right? So an introvert's neocortex is able to actually overpower the amygdala. So another thing is you need to do personality tests and figure out what diet works for you, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are. For the personality test that I actually suggest using is the Myers-Briggs personality test, and the link is down below. This is a totally free test. You can go ahead and do it in a couple of minutes. You fill in a couple of questions, and in the end they give you a detailed description of your personality, and also they go in depth about what it means and explain like your strengths and weaknesses and how to take full advantage of your personality, right? Because I know if you understand your personality, then you'll develop a sense of self. And I'm pretty sure right now Facebook and Google, they know better, like they know more about you than you knew, like than you know about yourself. This is based on like what you watch and what you search. However, you need to learn who you truly are, and you need to know like you need to understand what you'd want to say yes to and what you'd want to say no to. And you also need to understand what you consume. That way you'll be consuming the correct food, the correct like videos on YouTube to watch, and you know like the correct people to keep in your inner circle, like who take my energy, who will take it away, right? And for me personally, when I took this test, I learned that I am an INJT, which is an architect, but a specific kind of architect, because there's also an INTJA, but I'm a turbulent architect. And allegedly a turbulent architect is one of the rarest kinds of personalities. But apart from being a determined and a very curious bunch, everything has its downsides. And for an architect type, it is being dismissive of emotions. Now, I know for me, I'm not as harshly dismissive of emotions as the site claims, but I do know that I rarely take emotions into considerations, because I feel like you need to be focusing on the bigger picture. But once you've actually gone ahead and identified what type you are, just write down your traits, focus fully on them, and ignore your weaknesses, right? As it is something you can actually truly change. However, your strengths need to be 10x, right? You need to figure out what your strengths are, and you need to put all your energy into improving your strengths. So some advice I was personally taught is once you know your strengths, once you know your traits, etc., well, then go ahead and write out all the tasks that you need to get done in your business, the entire workflow. Just write it down. Then once it's actually done, you separate into two different groups, right? The first group being the things you enjoy doing, and the second group being the things you don't enjoy doing, right? So for me personally, it's going ahead and designing a new funnel, trying to find ways to cut costs in our systems while simultaneously increasing the business efficiency, right? No different than subscribing to this channel and hitting the like button. It's free, and well, you're not only improving your own like ROI, but you're also giving other people the chance to actually go ahead and see this video, see this content, so that I can also reach them, and they can also improve their skill sets and whatever milestones that they've already set for themselves. However, the systems would have to be something that could also be integrated with Zapier and be focused on automation, because I'm very big on Zapier and automation. Also researching new ideas, refining my outreach messages. So that's the tasks that get me pumped, or that would get you pumped, right? And you'd stay up till 1 a.m. to do those tasks. Those are the tasks that go into the first quarter. Now the second quarter, well, those are all the leftover tasks that are important to do, but you just don't enjoy doing them, even if they ensure that your business remains profitable, right? And like there are basically like 3 things you can do with these tasks. It's either you automate them, you suck it up and just do it, or if you really dislike it and it's important, you just delegate it to a VA. Because, well, if you had to do it, you'd only be giving off like 10 to like 20% of your energy. And if you're not putting in a lot of effort into a task that is very important for your business, well, it'll really hurt and stunt the growth of your business. I really hope you found this video valuable. Until I see you guys in a minute, thank you, dear.